Hello, my name is Matt Blaisdell from Riverside Chapter, Order of DeMolay of Pennsylvania, and this is my essay entitled, Thanks, Dad. Coming into my current chapter, back in 2006, I found out about leadership and responsibility the hard way. Within 3 months of joining Riverside Chapter, Order of DeMolay, I was shot up to Master Counselor due to problems within the chapter. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Even my chapter Dad Richard Snyder, told me it takes some work and persistence to take over what the previous Master Counselor had. I'm here to tell you what I have learned from my chapter advisor, Dad Richard Snyder. First off, let me tell you a little bit about Rick. He has been the chapter advisor for Riverside Chapter for well over 10 years, even before I transferred to Riverside Chapter from Pilgrim Chapter back in 2006. At first, he was asked to become an advisor for the chapter in Columbia, Pennsylvania, despite the fact that he had no prior DeMolay experience, nor did he have any sons or nephews or family members in general in the organization. He stayed and helped out the organization. On top of being a chapter advisor, he was also the advisor of a local Jewish Daughters Bethel, as well as a Mason and a tall cedar within the jurisdiction of Pennsylvania. He put his life into these organizations, and I try to reflect him in every way possible. This man has truly taught me that leadership doesn't end within the chapter room, but on the contrary, I can bring it out into the community, and I can show others what I have learned. One of the first things Dad Snyder has taught me is the fact that he wanted us to look for a life lesson within every single event, whether it failed or succeeded. For example, my chapter and I planned a pot pie dinner to support our local state charity, the Scottish Rite Learning Centers, and the outcome wasn't as top-notch as we could have hoped for. After a few hours working, Rick sat down with us and we debriefed about dinner. He questioned us, "What have you learned from this event?" And we answered, "What we could have learned from this event is planning and execution, and what we could have done better." It got to the point where my brothers at Riverside Chapter and I were wondering the lesson even before the event had begun. From that particular event, he later taught us about planning and execution is key within an event, a skill that every leader must know. Second thing that Rick has not only taught me, but my chapter in general, is that we can't be quiet and shy all of our lives. This is in fact a leadership organization, and we are taught to get out there and talk our heads off, being the leaders and the role models which we were made into. Rick has brought me to the public ceremonies, charity events, and other public functions, and got me to the point of selling not only the organization of DeMolay, but myself as an individual. Now compared to 6 years ago, I would not be able to approach anybody and have a full conversation without being shy. Rick's sincere patience and understanding with the chapter with a small amount of members taught me to be optimistic and persistent. Even when the chapter had lost members or went through a rough time, he, as an advisor, stuck with it, and he encouraged us to try harder and achieve the goals which we strive for. He has given me the knowledge of getting members in and keeping the old members in too. Maturity is one key trait which every man or woman within a leadership organization must possess. Richard Snyder has taught me things from life lessons to leadership qualities. He's met every single qualification for being an advisor. He's received every award possible for being the Top Gun advisor. However, any award out there doesn't sum up the gratification and thanks us at Riverside Chapter and us at Pennsylvania DeMolay have for this advisor and all he has done for us. Rick has inspired me to become a state officer. At first, I was a little bit iffy. I signed up for an appointed office, second preceptor, and within a year I was already state marshal. He supported me by going to events and driving me to these events as well. Within half the year, I was elected state scribe due to difficulties. And I would like to thank Rick Snyder for everything he has done for me. Thank you.